power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get it higher power. Over naira. Still them talk say, make we off mind. But thank God say, my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. Oh, yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout. Oh, yo, yo, my ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. This one not day off in mind. Oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh, yo, yo, my egun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout. Oh, yo, yo, my egun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Man of the masses. Oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come. Oh, yeah, yeah. My ego diary politico. Oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come. Oh, yeah, yeah. This man not the off in mind. Oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come. Oh, yeah, yeah. Aha. Now you not done here. All these bad politicians, then we call themselves politicians. When they thief our money, we no want make the common man get waiting supposed get for this country. Una never hear something. Now go hear one. My ego, you go show na paper. My ego diary political. So my people make you shout. Oh yeah, yeah. My ego don't come. Oh.
Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun lawamo, lamo dododo. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará yìí. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o.
Share the broadcast, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends and tell them that Mayegun today.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary politico. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun diary. Ẹ fara balẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹjọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé.
Thank you. You know that if Nigeria is a movie series or a series, right? It will be a blockbuster of ridiculousness, and it will be a blockbuster every season. The journey that, or let me put it this way, the mood in and around Nigeria today is the fact that the young people who were attacked and killed by the same government of Nigeria almost 2 years ago, they have now decided to politicized their revolution against the system they considered atrocious and completely against them. So, and then the establishment who believe that this is just the drama, let them enjoy it. Now, the mood in Nigeria today is not new, especially considering the charade they are putting together called election, the system versus or the led versus the leading. That took me back a bit, and that is to 2014, 2015. So that's where I'm going to start from, just to give you an idea of, even though this might be like a very long time ago, but it is not. The characters involved on, and then 7 years after that, the new trend, the characters involved, and what many would say a projection of same of the same. The most you achieve would be to have a change of personnel, but never a change of system. But we'll get to that part. The deceit, the frustration, politicians and the rest milking the frustration or disenchantment of the people, which they created, to their own advantage as well. It's not new. But what is new is that, for example, Obi's obedient to Obi's movement, which for now we believe is organic, spontaneous, organic from the wounded demography of the country, the youth. You can't really relate that to that of 2014, 2015, when the power-hungry, strange bedfellows came together in the name of rescuing Nigeria and Nigerians from the hand of their own friends. Like, it's a bit different, Abi. Well. Maybe not much. However, we would get to that part too. Peter Obi has chosen his own running mates, right? And one thing I have noticed is that somehow, right, the level of, tribal slaw, hateful, and all that is really common among, that is so common on social media before now, seems to have dissipated within the obedient circle. I know some people are already kind of deleting what they said about what tribe against another tribe in the past. Everybody feels like forget about the past. Forget about what I've said about the Fulanis before. You see, this obedient team, it's the perfect one. That's what Nigerian. Let's forget about tribe, forget about religion, forget about all of that. Things that people have been, for a very long time, been asking that, can you please just stop judging or electing people or choosing your leaders because of where they come from, because of their religion? So Peter Obi and his running mate, Yusuf Datti, they fitted into the expectation of this obedience. That's also a conversation for another in another segment of this conversation. Also, by the way, before we even omit that, the terrorists that escaped from Kuje, as we speak, there is nothing Nigeria can do to get them back. However, they released some pictures, low quality pictures with less information, to let you know that those who escaped from Kuje, you can find them in any part of Nigeria anytime. And guess what? They are Boko Haram terrorists. And the only thing that took them to that Kuje prison was because they carried out the act of terrorism in Nigeria. So I'll share that part with you. El Banawi, the one that coordinated the killings of Alhaji Shekau, El Banawi has been released, freed. From the report that we have been hearing as well, Kabiru Shokoto, do you remember him? That is the guy who carried out the Madala bombing in 2011, I believe. Yes. is also, he has also been kind of freed by the Boko Haram terrorists that took over the Kuje prison. So I'll share that part with you. Another part that which is going to be part of the intriguing, fraudulent, political process you have in Nigeria, which is part of the reasons why we would love to see the obedience pull the stunt, surprise us, surprise yourself, surprise people who believe that this is it, because the criminals in power in Nigeria, they don't see themselves as enemies or anything at all, which all of you know, by the way. So from what we have been told before now, after the, what do you call it? After the PDP Congress, which they believed that Atiku used his dollars to purchase the tickets. Now, the spillover of that is that Wike is now saying they will sink the ship of PDP, giving the power to the North. In this regard, even Fayoshe is now a member of Emilokon, Tifnumbu's camp. So today, they went to River State. I don't know how many of you have been following them and reading about Wike not picking Atifu's phone calls. That seems to be true. They, immediately after their Congress, Wike traveled straight to Turkey. And he said he was on holiday. And that was the reason why he couldn't meet all the delegation they said Atif could send to him. After they played him, the position of a vice presidency or so, they gave that to Okowa. Then Wike joined Fayoshe, which is a Fauleshe. Now, Fauleshe and then Wike, they are now teaming up with Kolu. That happened today, all according to them, for the interest of southern Nigeria. All of this are what I'm going to share with you tonight. Sorry if I'm giving you the highlight and I said, no, there's more to that. So what we're going to do is that we'll first go to the unveiling part of Peter Obi's running mate. So I am kind of, I don't know if I should say I am flabbergasted. I am kind of not surprised, because to me it reeks of hypocrisy. But by saying that, I probably will be hurting your feelings, okay? But I'm speaking from where the whole thing was coming from before you got to this part. Before now, one of the reasons why so much division you are witnessing in Nigeria today is getting to the head is the fact that people now believe that the northern Nigeria, the politicians there, they are going to play the South, manipulate them, muzzle them, and keep the power in the North. Because of that, you need to see the explicit and then different kind of tribal ethnic law against one another on social media. But somehow, in the last 24 hours, since Peter Obi chose his own running mate, it seems that, except for those who are trying to remind you, okay, because I remember when a group of young northerners came together and they said they were going to keep the power in the North. For those of you who probably saw the clip many times and you commented or reacted that the northern Nigeria brought Nigeria to this state, this and that, we will never want to have anything to do with them, this and that. Then they had another set of people, the Northern Elders or Northern Leaders Forum or Northern Elders Forum, whatever. You remember that man? That's something Baba Ahmed. That man that all of una in your own where you know the dig of why the Fulanis want to take over Nigeria. how Fulanization is coming in, how Fulani from Mauritania, Fulanis from Chad, Niger, all those things, but they don't seem to matter anymore because I don't know if they share same name or not. But I remember that Baba Ahmed who came out and he said they can't ever, ever work with the Igbos and they would never allow the power to go back to the South. You remember how those times, They are not long ago. They're just like few weeks ago. All those positions and all of that, which many of you believe that, how could somebody from Mauritania come and, Anyway, Obasanjo did the miracle, okay? And this is something I just want you to just pair together for the sake of, for educational purposes, so that when the whole thing comes crashing, some of you won't be too surprised when you begin to know the players behind the scene. From what we have been told, they have conspired that nobody must accept to be Peter Obi's running mate from the north. It is like, it's not physical, it's not public, but it is there. So that is why when they speak in the sense that if there's anyone that wants to do anything with Peter Obi, that person can only make Peter Obi his own vice presidential candidate. If not, nobody will even look at him in the north. But Obasanjo did it. At some point, one of them even came out, remember? One of them came out and he said that Obasanjo has been going from one emir to another, from one politician to another. He even went to Ango Abdullahi, that they are just laughing at him because nobody will come out and become a deputy to Peter Obi. The people, according to them, Peter Obi who wants to break Nigeria. Peter Obi will come from the IPOB who want to break Nigeria. I'm saying this because they have said that now, right? But somehow something changed. What they said changed was that Obasanjo got involved for two reasons. Number one, Obasanjo, from time immemorial, gbadun Tifnumbu, gbadun Atiku. It was, even gbadun Buhari. It was the circumstances every 4 years, like your rituals, that has made him to somehow agree with what they believe is a kind of popular demand. So as we speak now, if they do your election in 2023, then if nothing is done, according to Obasanjo and his own people, if nothing is done, Tifnumbu or Atiku will be your president in 2023. And that to Obasanjo, is like he's probably just going to die in serious outbreak. The people, according to people, he used his influence in the past to ensure that he destroyed them politically. But somehow, So they said Obasanjo got involved. And let me say something quickly. The northern Nigeria believe that they are the ones who will decide who will become what in Nigeria. And somehow, right, it has always been like that. All they needed is just a handful of few southern betrayers who are ready to take any kind of offer they give to them, and that's it. They will have their way. Yeah? So because of that, before now, they said that some of them believe that Bokwari did not deliver the real message, the real project or agenda of northern Nigeria, which prompted the increase in terrorism in Nigeria to chase away Goodluck Jonathan, which they accused. The only offense of Jonathan was that he was an infidel. So Buhari, according to them, Buhari bloated that up. You know what I mean? Like he wasted that time. Nothing is achieved. Now, their control, their power is more threatened now that the southern Nigeria have become so awake and all of that. So because of this, they gave Tifnumbu a condition that even though you are Alhaji, we don't believe you are a real Muslim. So if you want to pick anybody from northern Nigeria, that person is representing the interests of all these jihadists from northern Nigeria, by the way. So an infidel will never do. You, Alaji, we don't believe you are a Yoruba man, Yoruba Alaji. We don't believe you are a Muslim. I'm saying this because that's exactly what is going on out there, by the way. Now, they are now, Tifnumbu, a southern Muslim, is now trapped in between balancing what they call their national equation or national balance. So balancing it, if you have a Muslim, then you have a Christian, Abi. Normally, it's not supposed to matter. But for northern Nigeria, now waiting they decide be that, especially this elite. So you have to choose somebody that is a real Muslim. That's what they said, a real Muslim. I didn't say that. I'm not making that up. There is already a video of an Alaji or an Alfa Imam in Kaduna who was saying that already. So politically, as part of the winning strategy for Tifnumbu, is now trapped in between daring them and choosing a Christian from Connaught, or just go with it and dare the rest of the country who might want to. So for now, they have already started saying Muslim, Christian, no matter. And here is the thing. For the establishment, Atiku is the only solid one that represents the interest of the North right now. I'm talking about the establishment now. I'm still coming back to the obedience, how the intrusion, the political intrusion and your revolution is indeed something. It's very something, but I'm coming to you. So Tifnumbu, the powerful Tifnumbu, is trapped in between choosing a Muslim to satisfy the block vote promised him by the northern religious elite and the rest, or choose a Christian and just go with it. So for Peter Obi, to the fanatics from northern Nigeria, this established rogues who always like turn up the whole fraudulent votes and all that, yeah, it's even a complete jokey to even bring Peter Obi, not because Peter Obi no good, though. Not because Peter Obi corrupt like all the rest, though. Not because Peter Obi no gets health, though, or because it's not even speaking sense, or doesn't have any track record, at least to track. No. He's an Igbo man and he is a Christian. How do you sell that to them in the North? The only man who could do that is the same man who sold Goodluck Egberejo lantern to them, even when they insisted that as Yaradua was dying, they should compel Goodluck Egberejo lantern to resign so that they can choose a northerner to complete Yaradua tenure. The only person who could convince them was Obasanjo. He would do one time. See, listen, guys, listen. I know Yaradua tragedy. Yaradua's death is a tragedy. And I know what that means to you. Your political interest, your religious, that stuff. Remember this, all of this thing I'm telling you about power change, power this and that, none of them is in your interest, That's why I'm being specific. Who is doing what and for what? Do you understand? So don't mix them up and think they are doing it for your interest. None of them was ever done for your interest. It is the interest of the real owners of Nigeria. The ones who are always carrying the flag of when they carry PDP, when they carry APC. Now the same. There are factors, which is the factor that they believe Peter Obi, our obedient movement, is going to defeat. Listen, we are waiting for you to do that. I'll get to you once again. It's Obasanjo. So they told themselves that nobody would dare agree or accept to be Peter Obi's running mate. Like, what do you they think? Is that what your hadith taught you? Serious stuff. I'm talking about serious stuff. But it was Obasanjo. Even when Obasanjo started meeting all of them, they were taking his pictures. They were laughing. They even came on here to say they were laughing at Obasanjo, going to different emirs and all of that, trying to find deputy for Peter Obi. Well, They don't find deputy for Peter Obi. And when they found the deputy, the guy can't fit into the perfect picture of the obedient soldiers. And immediately, then quickly change them to obedience are useful. Go out there. That's the trending stuff now. So it's becoming interesting, isn't it? I have shared quite a few of their interesting stuff today. And surprisingly, the same people who watch the obedient, they feast on Mayegun 2 days ago, yesterday. This Mayegun are idiot, this Mayegun are enemy, this Mayegun is this and that. As they come, they see the content of obedient. Wait, I won't call you obedient, but I kind of gonna feel cool calling you that at some point. So I'm never gonna be your real friend for too long, but I'm just somebody you can trust to tell you how it is. So the people who saw them feasting on Mayegun, this Mayegun is useless, this Mayegun is this or that, they can say, this Mayegun don't become obedient to. That's what people say. Sometimes you may think Mayegun is now Atiku looted you, or those ones where they work in italic, this were Galicious, all of these are going to be the creation of your own imagination. And guess what? You are entitled to it. I am just a conscience. Your conscience, the one that sometimes you fight with when you are thinking and you're pairing things together, and then somehow, some certain things begin to make sense, some begin to stop making sense. And then you begin to fight that mind and say, well, that's exactly who I am to you. I can be that anytime. But the reason why I share this all the time with people is to kind of, beam light, or should you call it a searchlight, into something that looks like, frenzy, trendy. And then you follow the crowd, only to come back later and be like, I don't know, say na GPT sha. Don't take it personal. Bokuwari used to be the darling of the ignorant. And that's where I'm going to start from. I almost forgot that. Before I share with you today's development, I remember one time when a Megad, Bokuwari Megad, somebody who was in the dead, or should I say in the graveyard of history, something that should never happen, should have never happened, and so far that is in the dustbin of history, should have never been expunged to come back again. But somehow, the strange bedfellows who claimed to love Nigeria 8 years ago, they went to the graveyard and they exhumed the stinking corpse, the rotten corpse of a tyrant, a dictator. Suddenly, the dictator can't catch human feelings. And before you know it, like a contagion, Bokuwari became a darling. Just a flashback, oh. I don't mean to make you get mad yet, oh.
This country is insecure. This country is getting bankrupt. And it's mainly because of corruption and incompetence. What APC is out is to make sure that we stabilize this system of multi-party democratic system by voting the PDP out.
That was the guy, man, a few years back. Maybe you don't understand Hausa, by the way, okay? Me too, I don't. I've read the interpretation of what he's about to say now, what I'm about to show you. A tyrant, suddenly they get feelings for human beings. Somebody will be saying a kill and go. A terrorist is the first among the first, sorry, is one of the first set of terrorists to first terrorize Nigeria officially, and they never get punished. That's Bukwari, 1966. Yeah, it was one of them. It was called the retaliatory coup, the North versus the South, the program. Then he got rewarded when he also became the first terrorist to dethrone or overthrown a democratically elected government in the entire Nigeria. He is also the first terrorist to get that. So when they bury him, the greedy thieves, selfish rogues from all parts of Nigeria, Tifnumbu as one of them, they decided to go and exhume the corpse of a dead tyrant, unleashed him on the rest of the country, and before you know it, they say Buhari no get job. They can't make him president, give him the job. I mean, within 7 years, over 100 million Nigerians became jobless. That's a record. It was sometimes talking about how looters to steal your money, and they take the money abroad to take care of their family, blah, blah, blah. All those sweet words. Sorry, Ahmed, help me do interpretation if you are watching. This is a dead tyrant who once had a feelings until now.
Nigeria 1.7, less than 1.7 ake kashe. Lokacin sa don wajen 40% na budget din arewa ake kashe akan ilimi. Amma 1.7, less than 1.7 ake kashe. Amma sharholiya kullum ana hanya Abuja a dauki kudi a canza a fidda waje a kaje a nan a sai hannun jari can ai menene dan cin amana. Babban lalacewa shine musulmi suna yin wannan. Kuma kowane musulmi ya da shi musulmi ne ya san rukun amana.
Make I tell you, let me tell you the summation or the summary of what he said there in Hausa. He said all over the world, they are using 24% of their budget to fund education. But in Nigeria was spending 1.8% of their national budget on education. That it is so bad that the people who have been stealing the money for themselves, and they use the money to pay for education, to pay for their own children education abroad, to buy healthcare for themselves abroad. That same money, and he also said that to break out finally, that those who were doing this, they were also Muslims. That's what he said in that video. I mean, we'll go hear that one. We no go and say, oh, this Buhari is such an amazing person. You know why I won't take offense when people abuse me? Because of your love for Peter Obi right now and the rest of that. Is because it's sometimes good for you to bomb that passion, and sometimes to get what you want. Because you see, for those who witnessed the APC, Egbekegbe's propaganda of 2015, if you begin to look back today, if APC, Egbekegbe, if they had not won that election, if they didn't win that election, or if they didn't take over the government, so many people are currently going to be saying Nigeria missed the opportunity. You see, the reason why Buhari or anybody will fail with anything they bring is that Nigeria only rewards criminals because the whole arrangement is a criminal arrangement. Even if you have good intention, Baba, when you pay attention very well, you will realize that it won't take a moment before your good intention jump out of the window, and then rather than you change the system will change you. And guess what? The people who shouted Hosanna, Hosanna, they will shout crucify him. It's not new to somebody like me, and I'm not asking you, I'm not even comparing Peter Obi's CV with that of Tifnumbu or with any of these rogues. No. It's not comparison. I am comparing your level of enthusiasm for I love Nigeria, I love my country, this is our last chance. I heard about last chance in 2014, 2015. That time, Goodluck Jonathan be like one small monster. We be say, even people we love Goodluck Egbere Jonathan, the thing got to a stage whereby some of them were like, they regretted, you go see things as you move on now. But last, it didn't take them a month. It didn't take them a year before they realized that, now one chance. But for now, let's enjoy it. Because the people behind Peter Obi, they themselves said, even if Peter Obi try to say no, they do again, they will arrange themselves and they will arrest him. That's how serious they are. So if you see Peter Obi obedient, if you say something and they come for you, Baba, no take offense. There was a time that Peter Obi himself, a few days ago, Peter Obi was telling his own followers that you need to all please calm down. You need to this and that or more. Their own Peter Obi, they make them realize, say, hey, alaye, no they do pass yourself. This whole thing is not about you. Now all of us will be say we won't face these people, or we don't get any, we won't take face time. We just want now we be say we don't get you. No con they feel like say you will con they pander or they do some level of pandering towards these people. No, they do nice. So I'm not joking. This also happened. They took him to the cleaners, they won him. Anyway, that's just side part of it. Let's go into the man that is peering Peter Obi, and at the same time, somehow, douse the tension of this ethnic, religious, and every other things that have pervaded our screens, especially in the last 7 years. I don't know how long it's going to last, because people are already saying the guy no even get any weight. But you know what? People who are behind, but the obedient are saying, we are not looking for people with the structure, they said. They said them be the structure. Even if them pick cobbler and pair him with Obi, they go still deliver millions of votes for him. But anyway, let's go through the journey of how that went. At least first, when Peter Obi and his own would-be deputy or vice arrived at the Labour House today.
Solidarity forever we shall. Labour Party is our own. Labour Party is our party. Nigeria go better.
Go better. Nigeria go better. With Peter Obi and Datti. Anyway, let's hear Peter Obi himself, the man, the trader who wants to be president, and talking about unity, talking about from consumption to production, a bit of what happened when they unveiled Peter Obi's running mate earlier today. Check it out.
Unite and make Nigeria productive. And you can't do it without having people who have similar vision, similar idea, and I'm prepared. I have very distinctive honor to present to you somebody I can call a friend, a younger brother, because I'm senior. This is what I'm saying. A younger brother, and God willing, the next Vice President of Nigeria. Senator Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed. Who has been described as one of the brightest, youngest personalities in Nigeria that has distinguished himself in all areas. He brings to this mission a great wealth of experience from the background of the private sector to public sector, and a global knowledge that will help in our journey of turning around this country. Today, our country is facing so many challenges, which I will not want to mention here because we're just here to introduce our vice presidential candidate. But I will not be doing a great service to our country if I do not mention some of those. We're today the poverty capital of the world. We're today hugely indebted. And I've said in my interview a few days ago, we're actually about to default in our debt servicing, which will just trigger us into junk status. I pray it doesn't happen. Amen. But that is where we are. By the end of this year, we will need 100% of our revenue will not be enough to service our debts. That is where we've gotten ourselves into. Our people are hungry, they're angry, and all this is cumulative effect of bad leadership. And we've decided to halt this collapse, to stop this drift. We made this choice, and that's it, stand down and disclose. And I said to him, what we're doing is not just two of us, we're bringing all Nigerians into this big hands where everybody will be involved, because we want to end the primitive politics of ethnicity, religion, and all sorts of things. Like I've said, show me where in the north, where there's uninterrupted electricity. Show me where people are not hungry. Show me where there's no poverty in the north. Show me where people are prospering and industries. Unemployment is not in the north. Show it to me in the south. There's none. But politicians give excuse because it's from here. What we want now to
I mean, politicians will still tell you a lot more. But the bottom line is that it is all going, or let me say, it is all coming back to one thing, keeping Nigeria's status quo in place for the interest of the owners of Nigeria, who are actually pulling the string behind the scene. And then, well, the frustrated citizens jumping into the bandwagon. And this is the time they will tell you everything you want to hear. This is the time they're going to tell you that Nigeria unity is real, and all manner of things that they will put onto you and say you should make it happen. But the bottom line is that you are just participating in extending the misery, in extending the death trap that Nigeria actually represents. But my purpose is to, well, keep everyone informed enough to understand the old jagbajantis, as they call them, their politics, so to say, and understand your choice. At the same time, be courageous enough to be responsible for them. Because most of you, after all of this emotional roller coaster, political this and that, when the whole thing comes down, you always kind of look for who to blame. Eventually, anyway, but we'll get to that part. The Tifnumbu boys are out, like I said, and they were in Rivers State earlier today. But before I get to that part, I actually would love to hear